Hello and welcome to Business Incorporated live on Channels Television. We see the markets are buzzing right now this new trading week. Here's what's coming up. President Bola Tinubu signs a landmark executive order to regulate Nigeria's digital assets ecosystem. Will the new framework unlock investment and strengthen oversight? We'll find out. Now we see Nigeria's stock market is building momentum today. BUA Cement appears to be making a comeback, and we're seeing bank stocks rising. And all prices remain on edge as we see Brent that got to $90 a barrel, then eased back. And it's good to have you join us. I'm Ladi Williams. Let's get a quick check now what's playing out with these markets. They're moving really fast, and if you blink, you might just miss it. And we're seeing Brent crude prices easing after hitting that $90 per barrel level. Happened really fast, but it's pulled back. Even faster, 88.50. That's what we have right now. Time we took the numbers. WTI crude, that's at $82.33 per barrel, and we see natural gas adding about 2.13%, maybe trying to make a run back to the $3 level. Let's get a check on metals quickly now. We're seeing gold prices are edging higher today as escalating Middle East tension. That's fueling worries that energy-driven inflation pressure could lead the Federal Reserve to hike interest rates. And we see spot gold there back holding the $4,000 level. Spot silver up 1.45%. Platinum is red there. The lone laggard from the metals that we track, $1,607. Palladium 0.93% higher. And we see copper there up 0.81%. So that's a picture right there. Investors trying to find out what's going to happen with interest rate in the U.S. All right, so other stories now. We see in North Africa, Egypt is stepping up its clean energy ambitions with the World Bank exploring deeper cooperation to strengthen the country's electricity grid and unlock more financing for renewable energy projects. The discussions focus on expanding grid capacity, supporting infrastructure investment, and ensuring financial sustainability needed to accelerate Egypt's transition to cleaner power. Moving on now, we see Zimbabwe's digital transformation is gathering pace with mobile internet usage surging as more people come online through smartphones and expanding broadband access. The latest figures highlight growing demand for digital services from mobile banking and e-commerce to online education, underscoring the country's accelerating shift towards a more connected digital economy. And West Africa has taken a major step towards one of the continent's biggest energy projects, with ECOWAS member states signing an agreement backing the Nigeria-Morocco Atlantic gas pipeline. The proposed pipeline, which will span 13 West African countries, is expected to boost regional energy security, deepen economic integration, and strengthen gas exports, that's to Europe. All right, let's look at the beauty industry now in Africa. We see Africa's beauty and personal care industry is rapidly becoming one of the continent's fastest growing consumer markets, now valued at more than $10 billion, with demand for locally made products on the rise. But despite its high natural resources and growing pool of entrepreneurs, African brands still command only a small fraction of the nearly $600 billion global beauty industry. Our South Africa correspondent, Innocent Simosa, reports.
Industry is one of the fastest growing sector globally, with increasing demand for African-inspired products and locally developed brands. Despite this growth, entrepreneurs say African businesses still face challenges. However, for Nigerian-born beauty entrepreneur Amaka Uzwamaka, South Africa has provided an opportunity to build a successful business while creating employment and contributing to the local economy.
I'll say that beauty is my destiny, it's from childhood, and, the more I'm going, the more I'm learning, and I'm also teaching people.
She says greater collaboration between African countries could help strengthen the continent's beauty industry through investment, skills development, and easier cross-border trade.
The only thing I'll say that Africa need to come together. They need to share. In terms of beauty, I will say that Nigeria is number one, So in that case, we need to come together as one to collaborate so that we will have more opportunity, so that we will have more money and also more employment.
We also had the opportunity to speak to some of her South African employees who shared how working with her has helped them develop new skills and advance their careers.
I've been working here for like close to 5 years now, and I've learned a lot regarding beauty, how to be patient, and so on.
So, what would you like to say about Madame and her skills, the skills that she taught you?
Oh, she has a lot of skills. We've learned a lot. I came here, I knew few things. I've learned how to be patient, how to communicate with clients. She loves beauty. She's into beauty, so I've learned a lot from her.
Since 2011, I have learned so much from hair, beauty, everything.
I am taking everyone, because we are here to make sure that everybody will have something doing. If I take you, I will teach you the skill you will do, and I will make sure that you will know it very well.
As Africa's beauty industry grows, entrepreneurs say collaboration, not competition, will be key to unlocking the continent's full potential. From Johannesburg, South Africa, Innocent Samosa, Channels Television News.
All right, thank you so much, Innocent. Let's get a check on what's playing out on the African continent. That's talking about trading. For the NGX, Monday is kicking off quite strong there, 0.93% higher, 245,716 points. That's the market performance right there at intraday. And, the banks continue to rally, propping up the counter. And guess who's making a comeback this week? BUA Cement, up about 9% last time I checked. But we'll definitely see if that continues to the close of trade today. Then we have some earnings now. Big banks, Firstholdco, right here in Nigeria, they released their H1 earnings. So you see the banking sector continues to deliver some strong earnings there, with Firstholdco posting an impressive 83.5% jump in half-year pre-tax profit to more than 653 billion naira. There you have it there for profit before tax. Profit after tax, that's up by 81.6% at 526.1 billion. Earnings per share up 71%, 11 naira 74 kobo. Trading income 65.8 billion. That's what they made, much higher than the same period. That's H1 of 2025. Then loans to customers, loan to the private sector, that increased there about 6%, 9.51 trillion naira. That's what this bank lent to most of the customers in the first half of 2026, much higher than the first half of 2025. So the latest earnings there, will definitely keep tracking all of that. And I see the stock is actually up again after gaining more than 30%, I guess, last week. All right, let's get a check on other parts now. EGX 30, 1.24% higher than Nairobi Stock Exchange, closing on Friday with a pullback there of 0.13%. Let's get a check on the Middle Eastern markets now. That's talking about the UAE, Dubai, and the Abu Dhabi index. Talking about those regions, we'll definitely get a check there. We see it's down. Dubai index 0.32%, Abu Dhabi 0.46% lower. Negative picture right there. Escalation in the Middle East there. We're seeing Iran attacking, countries that have U.S. assets. Let's get a check now on the Tadawul, 0.07% higher. We see the Qatari index there kicking off 1.30% higher. It's open at this point. Let's get a check now on U.S. markets. Let's see how U.S. futures are doing. Yeah, it's looking green right there with the tech-heavy NASDAQ up 0.67%. We're expecting Mag 7 earnings from the likes of Google and Tesla this week. Investors will be watching out for that. Let's flip over to Asia markets now. And yes, red, that's the color right there. They were closed on Friday, but now opening in the green, catching up the losing trade, 4.46% for Kospi. Hang Seng Index 2.36% higher to close. Let's flip over to the Nifty 50. Let's see if the Nifty 50 could make a comeback. No, 0.39% lower, 24,238 points. Let's take it on to Europe now. We have Lars Holter right there. Great to have you, Lars. How's the first trading day of this week kicking off?
Yeah, Lottie, how you doing? It's good to be with you. Well, we're kicking it off in the green here, which is kind of nice because remember last week we saw 4 red days in a row for markets here. Now it's off to a fresh start, I guess. However, if you look at the news, it doesn't really give us too much hope. And you just talked about it when you were looking at the Arab markets. There's obviously the ongoing geopolitical problems here, Iran, the whole situation not getting any better at all. There's the higher oil prices. And here in Europe today, that is actually putting pressure on the airline sector, specifically with all the major European airlines losing between 2 and 3%. So let's just see where this journey is taking us this week.
All right, so we see Europe, they've been under a heat wave lately, and a new study shows how much it's costing the economy. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, Ladi, we're talking big numbers here. According to this study, the heat wave during the last 2 weeks of June has cost the German economy 6.3 billion euros. Now, experts kind of see 35 degrees here as a breaking point for people and for the economy. That's as temperatures exceeding 35 degrees, bring about twice the economic damage compared to days when temperatures just rise a bit over 30. Some detail here, any day when the temperatures just a tad over 30 costs the economy some 430 million euros, and a day of 35 degrees books around 950 million euros. So that's almost a billion. Now, looking at climate trends, the experts are finding it likely that Germany will regularly face 3 or 4 heat waves of this magnitude annually in the future, with total damages then possibly amounting to more than 20 billion euros per year.
How do the experts arrive at these numbers there, or which businesses suffer the most from the heat?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a long list of business here. As a matter of fact, almost all sectors of the economy are somewhat affected. Some more, of course, including, the steel industry, where workers are already subjected to hard working conditions, with many people working in very close proximity to blast furnaces or rolling mills. And now when temperatures climb above 30 degrees outside, the strain on workers inside in these production halls is getting even worse. It's similar for people working at plants or quarries where building materials mined. But there's also the logistics sector, with low water levels being a problem. Further down, there's the manufacturing sector, health and social care, of course, retail. Of course, construction. Now, most of the damage in any sector is really due to declining productivity, with people taking more frequent breaks and working more slowly or with less concentration. But there's also problems with machines overheating or cooling costs rising. The latter one, of course, specifically important in the agricultural sector and in food retail.
All right, what can the government do to strengthen the economy when heat-related costs is rising so much in the future?
Well, not much, Ladi. That's the shocking short answer. The experts behind this study are pointing out that our infrastructure in Germany was largely just not built for extreme heat. Germany, as well as our neighboring countries here in Central Europe, we've historically seen a moderate climate, and when building roads and railroad tracks or housing and factories, excessively high temperatures were just never planned for. Now, in those hottest weeks last month, we've literally seen roads melting away or buckling. Many had to be closed off until repair crews could come in. Now, there are a few things that can be done. There's a new understanding of the urgency and the need for more green, planting trees, removing paved surfaces. There's going to be more air conditioning, ideally, of course, powered by renewable energy. Some are also advocating for adjusting working hours, a cultural change, working earlier in the morning or later in the evening to escape the hottest part of the day. But first and foremost, the government, as well as the industry, they will have to take the threat that climate change poses much more seriously and really take further action to lower emissions.
Right. All right. Thank you so much, Lars. And I do hope it gets cooler going forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ladi.
All right. Now let's head straight to another conversation. President Bola Tinubu's new executive order on digital asset regulation marks a significant step in Nigeria's approach to cryptocurrencies and blockchain innovation. If you can put up a diagram for me, it shows what this is going to look like. We see the Central Bank of Nigeria is going to be leading this council of the NRS, Securities and Exchange Commission, Nigeria Financial Intelligence Unit, and the Office of the National Security Advisor, they will all come together to regulate virtual assets, the virtual asset ecosystem. Joining me for this conversation now, we have Segun Kosheman. He's a technical consultant at the Committee on Cryptocurrency and POS. We also have Rume Ofi, popularly known as the Crypto Preacher. Great to have you both on the show.
Thank you very much, Ladi.
Fantastic.
For having me.
Fantastic. Great to have you. I believe Segun's there also. Let me start with you. Yeah, let me start with you, Segun, now. So looking at this diagram, it looks like most countries are forming Voltron to manage or regulate the cryptocurrency industry in their countries. Talk to me about this latest executive order. Segun, can you hear me?
Thank you very much, Larry. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. You can speak, yeah.
So if you can hear me, first of all,
okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, seems the internet is not that strong. Segun, it's not that strong on your end. Let me flip to Rume. Rume, can you hear me?
All right, thank you very much. So
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, Rume, you can speak now. Segun's internet seems slow. Go, you can speak, Rume.
All right. Yeah, thank you very much. This has been much awaited for. For a very long time, we've been on this platform talking about how the industry could even get better, and the fragmentation that has happened over the years between agencies of government. But right about now, harmonizing everything actually made a lot of sense for the industry to go further, knowing fully well that Nigeria has to lead the rest of Africa in what is going on as regards this industry. It's a welcome development. Like I always said, in fact, it just fell in place with the last 2 times I was on this platform, where I said if it is better, it should come before the election, because at the end of the day, government is there for the yearnings of the people, and this just shows that they are listening, and it has to even get better.
All right, so definitely, is it possible for one entity to actually regulate the cryptocurrency virtual assets ecosystem? Is it possible in any way?
Yeah, so that's why these agencies are working together. They are going to be working in sync. There's a council that has been put together by Mr. President, where we have the CBN that's going to be leading that council side by side with the Office of the National Security Advisor, the Security and Exchange Commission, NFIU, and as well as the NRS. But again, something very, very fantastic that has actually happened with all of this celebration that has gone on is the fact that the industry has actually not taken this really, really nicely because of the NRS. A couple of quarters, which I also share that sentiment that this industry have suffered a lot of the time. So the trust deficit is still there, between the stakeholders and government agencies. Okay. So they have to be the tax burden. A lot of persons find it very, very shocking that at this point in time when we are growing, or we are coming up to have a kind of structured ecosystem, taxing the industry shouldn't be at the forefront right about now. A couple of persons also bear their minds towards tax haven for developers and builders in this part of the which also make a lot of sense, So, but all of this can work. Truth is, which as an industry, stakeholders needs to be in these rooms where these decisions are going to be made, so that it becomes all encompassing.
All right, let me try Segun again. Segun, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, lad.
Fantastic. And I hear you too. So Segun, you hear Rume there saying he does. Some don't like that the NRS is part of this Voltron. I'm calling it a Voltron at this point. What do you think?
I'll tell you why the NRS is very, very important. And because coordinating from the ad hoc committee on economic, regulatory, and security implication of cryptocurrency adoption and POS operation in Nigeria, the National Assembly, headed by the highly respected Honorable Bamishile Olufemi Richards from Ekiti State. I can tell you that our investigation as a consultant have a lot of finding. I've revealed a lot of finding. First of all, you've heard multiple times the SEC Director General, Dr. Timi Agama, say over $90 billion have passed through our virtual asset ecosystem. That's a big number. Nigeria lost the opportunity to make even just 0.5% of that, and NRS lost the opportunity. Every now and then, founders post, oh, we did $15 million transaction. We did $50 million transaction. Oh, in just a few weeks, we did so million dollars of transactions. We are all boasting that this market is very viable, right? So the NRS wants to also help the president fulfill his mandate of, taking this economy to a $1 trillion economy. First of all, the truth is there are foreign companies that are already milking this space. So why not tax it in the first place? Even if you're going to give tax holidays to the local companies. When stablecoin companies, already that are becoming financial infrastructure in our country, and they just milk, pretty much capital flights happen through them. And from my interaction with, for example, some of the leadership, high-level leadership of the SEC, of the NFIU, they do not have any information or any lesson person from any of these stablecoin companies. Namely Tether USDT, for example, right? You'll see that Circle is investing bigly into some of our fintech companies like Flutterwave, like CNGN. All of these things are welcomed. And we are not saying foreign companies shouldn't come, but you're milking money already. Why shouldn't Nigeria generate money? So what Rume said makes a lot of sense. But if we can help block loopholes, right, allow our companies generate proper revenue, then tax where necessary. It's not bad for our country at all. Okay. It's really not bad.
All right, Shegun, another one now. This is a council that's going to be led by the Central Bank of Nigeria. If you remember before now, the Central Bank of Nigeria did ban banks from carrying out, crypto transactions during the Emefiele-led Central Bank of Nigeria. So don't you think it's rather hawkish that the CBN is going to be leading this council? And I remember when Dr. Timi Agama got the role as Director General, they said he was crypto friendly. But he's not leading this council. How do you see that?
Okay. Politically, that is something you might want to be inside the room to really understand. But I'll tell you some of the things that occurred before now. The ISA 2025 misclassified clearly what are securities and what are not securities. Beautiful law that came out at the time it was assented to by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But I think there were lots of misunderstanding because some of the ecosystem people who have proper understanding, who can run Bitcoin nodes, they understand the Bitcoin architecture and infrastructure, understand this cryptocurrency beyond theoretical jargons, right? Can actually, tell what is supposed to be for central bank and what is supposed to be for SEC. The chairman of the SEC in the United States of America that we are modeling most of our framework alike, Paul Atkins, already come out on national television on video to say Bitcoin is not a security. Stable coins like USDT, USDC, they are not securities. So as some other cryptocurrencies, right? And if they are not securities, what do you use them for? Buy, send, spend, pay. Those things are payment architectures, and they should be directly under the purview of Central Bank of Nigeria. So if your business is just buy and sell exchange, and you make thousands of revenue, or you do millions of dollars in transaction, you do not need to go through Security Exchange Commission. Just go through the AML CFT framework of NFI. You're under the CBN. Make sure your due diligence is okay. And you're in business. And I'll tell you what, the CBN's declaration is actually very, very powerful. So when you are under the purview of the CBN and you're just doing buy, spend, etc., it's beautiful. But anything that falls under security, if it is wrap, if it is tokenized, etc., alike, then it's go to the SEC. So I think it is very, very paramount for the apex financial body of the country to bring everybody into that one ecosystem, one sandbox. Let's understand what you're doing. If it is payments, you come here, we move fast, we generate revenue for the country, we increase your capacity. And if it is SEC, yes, you go under there and you follow the rules and regulations of the capital market.
Fantastic. We've run out of time, but definitely this is they have about 30 days to sort all of this out. We'll continue having this conversation, going forward. Thank you so much. Segun Koshemani is a technical consultant at a committee on cryptocurrency and POS, and Rume Ofi, popularly known as a crypto preacher. We'll definitely have this conversation another time. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, honestly, Ladi.
All right, and that's the show today. That's all we have. We'll definitely be back again tomorrow. Decision day, right there. Monetary Policy Committee. We'll cover that live on Channels Television right here. Thank you so much for watching Business Incorporated. I'm Ladi Williams. Bye for now.